I'm still on the issue of analysis on the Home Secretary's DNA testing apology, which I think is meaningless anyway. So the analysis is still on it as to those who have been affected. Sorry about that. Something must have happened in between, and that is why the madam got cut off. So I think it's my device that's struggling. I have too many devices, so that's the problem. I have too many pro devices here, and that's the issue here. But the point many homes have been affected as a result of this endless decision. And the majority that have been affected have lost their job in between this saga of requesting for DNA. Now, a woman and a man that are not together or they are not in good times will not be able to provide or produce or ask or help each other on documents or even on any discussion. Communication brings, when you have fluent communication with somebody, it means there is love. And when there is no fluent communication, there is no love anymore. And that is what a lot of people do not understand. There is no love. Quick look at the analysis is what we are doing now. It's what we are looking at now. How are people being affected? You see, the Home Secretary came out and published the result of the review into DNA testing at the Home Office and apologized to migrants who were told that the genetic testing was compulsory for certain family visas. The Secretary of State announced potentially wide-ranging review of the immigration system, generally. And basically, he basically saying that he had accepted that there was an error in place. He admitted that they requested DNA from foreign parents of the British citizen. He admitted that it was a flaw that it shouldn't have been. The Home Office also currently still taking DNA, but not anymore anyway. And when a lot of people were asking me questions with regards to the DNA, I said to them that I haven't got the dossier. I haven't got the package. And when I don't have package on documents, on laws or whatever comes out, I basically don't debate it or talk about it in the public arena. Because once you disseminate, it becomes so important. And a lot of people will rely on it. And at this stage, it's so impossible for me to disseminate information that I am not in charge of or I don't know about. So it has come out. It has assigned people to do a report for him. They have reported back to him that there was a flaw. DNA was conducted, and it shouldn't have been conducted. An application in relation to immigration status. It was done on immigration status. It was done on the issue of, what is it called? The Afghanistan family. Do you understand? Because UKVA requested DNA evidence using the inappropriate wording in paragraph 390, in about 398 cases on Gekas. The Gekas. The Gekas are Nepalese soldiers in the British Army. They call them the Gekas. They are the Nepalese soldiers in the British Army. These guys have they have put their life down for HM Majesty. They have put their life down. So in investigations on DNA going to their family visa, when they are coming in, Home Office is saying that they were fraud operational fuga, you know, and as a result of that, they requested for DNA in that area. About 398 cases were, you know, singled out, asking them to do DNA. 398 cases were singled out, requesting for DNA. And not only that, there's also Afghanistan family as well. Those family as well have done a lot. You know, the family members of Afghans who had worked for the British government as well, also were identified in the third category of migrants who were forced to have DNA tests. So there were about 3 categories: the family of the migrants in the UK, the British children that with the family, with their parents, you know, the Gurkhas, the Nepalese soldiers that fought in the British Army, and then the third one is the family members of the Afghans who had worked for the British government. They were also refused because they refused to produce DNA in most cases. So the Home Secretary eventually acknowledged in those 3 areas that the request for DNA is inherently intrusive. From day one, I knew it was intrusive into people's private life. And not only that, requesting for DNA is expensive. What about the emotional impact of discovering that paternity is not as previously thought can be? What about the emotional impact when people are forced to go and conduct DNA and they went ahead and come back with wrong results? The emotional part of it is trivial. The emotional part of it is immeasurable. It's not something you can even quantify. So when we talk about quantification, you know, or quantifying of losses, there are some losses that is so difficult to quantify under the law of thought. It's so difficult to quantify. So we still not know where that will be heading to. But the point here is that the request has had impact on family. And the risk is that the family could break up or even cause domestic violence. Of course, it will cause domestic violence when you ask a man and a son or daughter that has British passport to go and get DNA before they give it to the mom, to give status to mom. And they went ahead and get the DNA done. All of a sudden, it then come back that the DNA wasn't his one, wasn't, you know, it's not rhyme. So it's not the father of that particular child in question. The Secretary of State accepted that that could have easily break home or perhaps cause domestic violence, because the guy would turn back to the lady and say, "You bitch, excuse my French. So this is not mine. And you've been asking me to be funding this for all this while." Although if you look at it in another way of argument, it basically means that the woman is sleeping around. But that's not the point for today. That is not the topic for today. The topic for today is that asking DNA in a family life by the public sector in a kind of situation like this is an intrusive into family life. So it's an invasion of Article 8. It's an invasion of family life of some people. That's the point here. You have intruded into people's life. The impact of it is what we are looking at. A lot of people, a lot of homes have had their share in this. Many have lost their job as a result of this, because if she's unable to get hold of the guy or the father of her child to do DNA truthfully and submit it back to the Secretary of State, the Secretary of State, 2 ways of doing that nonsense thing that I note. Either they will tear the file and keep it inside, or they refuse. When you look at the intrusion is not only to the Home Office, also to the HM Passport Office. The Her Majesty Passport Office have now taken a role of parental responsibility for family by asking them to go and do DNA. Now, in a normal sense, if the name of the father is appeared or has appeared on the birth certificate, I cannot see any reason why DNA should be requested for in issuing a British passport to a child that the father has already signed the documentation, putting his passport number on the document and showing correctively that he is the father of the child, and it takes responsibility at all costs. I personally cannot see any common sense to it for HM Passport Office as well, asking for a DNA genetic testing. And you know what is happening is that by way of asking for genetic testing in this situation, it basically means that the Secretary of State is how do I put it, enriching his pockets, because by asking people to do DNA, they are also recommending the labs to go and get it done. Now, if you're recommending lab to go and get it done, it means that the Secretary of State Department is taking share in that respect, or perhaps belongs to the government department again. So they are enriching their pocket at the expense of the migrants in this situation, in this scenario, which shouldn't have been in the first instance. It shouldn't have been in the first instance. And as a result of that, the argument is that it's good that the Secretary of State has come out publicly and apologized, and, you know, but that is not enough. That is not enough. I know a scenario that he is the genuine father of this boy. The Home Office went ahead and seized the passport of the child and tell the mother to go and conduct DNA. Now, the mother went ahead. Luckily, she's living with the father of the child. She went ahead and did the genetic testing. Now, genetic testing, which is DNA, for the purpose of Home Office, is more expensive. It's more expensive than the ordinary argument one that this is not my child, it's my child. It's more expensive. The Biolabs and other company that I do not want to mention for data protection out of forever, whatever reason, usually ask you that, are you doing the DNA for Home Office? The moment you said for Home Office, it goes up. It went up. The cost will come up twice. But if you say for the purpose of just clarification that he's the father of my child, yeah, without saying that it's for Home Office, it could be 250 pounds, it could be 200 plus. But the moment that it's for the Home Office purpose, it's 500 plus. Now tell me how Secretary of State wants to justify his apology in this respect to all those that have conducted this DNA without even preparing for it. Now, the story I was telling you, they held the passport of the child and in fact confiscated. They confiscate it. So basically, the child will not have that, will not be a British passport until proven. Luckily for them, the case went to court. The lady went ahead with the partner. They did DNA. And the DNA, thank you, Ms. Yetunde Taiwo, the DNA proved that he is the father of the child. So they went to court to go and finalize his case with right of appeal they gave her. At court, the judge saw the DNA and the judge said, no, the case should be cleared off and they should give her status and restate the boy's passport back. Now, restatement of British passport has already been confiscated. So I will communicate with the Home Office and said, okay, this is the result from judge. Can you grant this person her status and return the passport? What they will come back with is that they have already confiscated the passport. If your client decides to make a further application, she should go and use so form so and send it to HM Passport Office. What an insult. What an insult. What an insult. So when the Secretary of State is now having the time after those damages have been done for several months since last year, now coming out and apologize, and apology is not accepted because it's meaningless to those who have been badly battered with this journey, in this journey. It's meaningless to those who have been badly affected. Apart from the intrusive of it, there is emotional part as well. There is also cost-effective and the stress time that has cost people in this journey. Now, to quantify losses, who will be responsible? Who is going to be responsible for this payment thing? Who is going to be responsible? Who is the person that will come out and say, listen, we have put out a budget of 300 million pounds or 400 million pounds to pay people all these losses. Don't forget that when it comes to payment of losses, quantified damages under law of tort, it's so wide to the extent that Government might end up paying one household almost 200,000 pounds. If care is not taken, they might end up paying some people 60,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds. If care is not taken, because a lot of people have lost their jobs since last year because they couldn't get their partner to get the DNA done. And as a result of that, Home Office didn't even keep the document. If they kept your document, you are lucky you'll be granted now, like my clients have been granted. But if they did not keep your document and throw it back to you at you and say refuse because you cannot get the DNA done, then you're dumb. You're doomed. Pata pata. You're doomed. And if you're doomed, it means that you have to reapply again. Now, when you are reapplying, look at the cost that it's going to cost you. You have lost your job already, don't forget. And now you want to reapply because can you tell me whether I am being flagged or is internet issue? Can I know whether it's flagging? Can you tell me? Please, I am lost here. So, in terms of refund, you know, yes, Home Office is taking advantage. You can call me on 07908 628240, 07908 628240, 07908 628240. I am sure I have the WhatsApp and I have the control of the other phone as well at this stage. If you want to call me and tell me how you are being affected in this decision, you know, of requesting for genetic testing, then let me know. I'm on 07908 628240. The bottom line here is that the apology is meaningless because Homes again, you know. Yeah, because without the British passport, it will be difficult to make the application to the Secretary of State. So the first step in this method is that you have to get the British passport on board, you know.
Okay, for my child.
Yes, you have to reapply for the British passport first. You know, once you are able to get the British passport, then you can move in for the application to the Home Office for the application straight away.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I don't know if I'm making it because we still have a passport with us, but I think it's not effective because they revoked it. So are we going to apply for a new one, or are they going to take over his ban? I don't know what's going to happen. Are we applying? Because if I need to apply,
you have to apply for a new one. You have to request for a new British passport. That has already been revoked. So it's been confiscated. You know, is it network or flagging? But there is nobody to flag me on this occasion. I don't know why people will flag an innocent small girl like me. You understand? You know, I don't know who's going to be flagging me because I'm so innocent in this world. I don't even do anything. I don't even flag. I don't even know how they flag. Hello? Hello? I don't even know how to flag. Good evening to you. Am I being flagged? Good evening, ma. Good evening to you. Can somebody tell me, those who have experience?
Maybe it's the network. I don't know, ma.
Let me ask those who have experience out there about flagging.
It's freezing up like.
It's freezing, isn't it?
Yeah, I have the experience, ma.
Okay.
No, not the flagging experience.
Okay.
Immigration, DNA and stuff.
Okay. Somebody say home office is flagging.
9 years ago, I fell a victim.
Okay.
I don't know about that, ma.
You did what?
9 years ago, I fell a victim, ma.
How do you mean?
I fell a victim of this kind of scenario. That time, my husband was in Nigeria, and I was here in Europe. And we were trying to change his business visa to join his spouse. But they sent us for a DNA. And after the DNA, maybe they don't want to give, we don't know. They were telling me that the DNA was inconsistent. And I asked a question. If the DNA is inconsistent, does that mean it doesn't go together? They said yes. And I said, okay, meaning so is not the father to so. They said we didn't say that. So what do you mean about this inconsistent? They said I should go and check on the internet. At the end of the day, because I love trouble myself, they granted, but just in case if anybody fall a victim and they are telling them, it could be true that some babies may not be inconsistent, but sometimes they lied that the DNA is not consistent. I fell a victim, and that time I made trouble with them before they succumb. But for other people, just in case if they know, like if they are 1,000,000% sure that they never cheated or anything, they shouldn't give up. They should try and pursue the case further.
So are you saying years back, yeah, the Home Office misread the DNA testing?
Sorry?
Are you saying Home Office misread it, or the result came out?
They sent for it. It's from Dublin, not from London.
Oh, from Dublin.
They sent us for a DNA at their own clinic. Yes, please.
Okay.
And when we went for the DNA, I was told it was inconsistent. When they told me it was inconsistent, I said, if I understand their English very well, it means it doesn't go together. And they said yes. And I said, meaning the son is like the father is not the owner of the son. They said we didn't say that. So what do you mean by this inconsistent story? They said I should go and have, but just in case if people are sure, like 1,000,000% sure, like they never cheated or anything, they shouldn't give up. They should just, press the case further. Okay.
But how would you advise in a situation whereby the mommy is a single parent, the daddy has already gone astray, his whereabouts is unknown, and the Home Office is seeking DNA testing? How is she going to get DNA from a man that they don't talk anymore, that he has gone astray?
That will be very hard.
Exactly.
the one will be very hard.
That is it.
But just in case, like if the parents are still together and they are struggling, like to come together as a family.
Yes, yes. So the point is that if they are together, it's easy for them to conduct the DNA because both of them are together.
But my own point is, if they are, if they are together and the woman knows, like she's 100% sure that she's the father is the father, they should press it further. I was told it was inconsistent. And I said, I was just smiling. I said they wanted to, like, I told them, anyway, I've been having a dream I won a lottery. I never knew it wasn't going to be a lottery, that it was going to be a case lottery. That was when they knew, like, they were asking me if I was into law. I said no, but they were asking me I should go and ask them. I just left them. The next thing, I wrote a letter to them, send it everywhere, and I told them if within the next, but it took like about 18 months to be sorted. But at the end of the day, what was inconsistent before was consistent. These same people that said it wasn't consistent, they sent a letter, but after a lot of trouble, because I have to send different letters to different departments. And I wrote in the letter, if I didn't hear anything from them, in the next 72 hours, I have no further option than to take a further action. That was when the green light came up for me.
But that was because you too, you are an intelligent lady.
Sometimes they may say,
It's because you are an intelligent person, you know your rights, and you have confidence. You understand? You have confidence to deal with people of that caliber.
Of course, I told them. They said.
And thirdly, your partner
can see the futures of the.
Yeah, and thirdly, your partner is with you, so you are living together.
Yeah.
So you are able to confront them. If it is in another scenario, let us get it right. In another scenario,
even here, we are trying to like change a business visa from Africa. Yeah.
So you were back home.
Even live here. We are trying to change his business visa to join in spouse.
Okay.
That time, my husband was in Nigeria. I was the only one living here. So we are now trying to change the business visa to join in spouse, like residency permit. That was when they just messed up with the whole thing. Anyway, I told them, because they had to call me to series of meetings, and I said to them, I love trouble. And you've just put my food on the table. This case, we have to drag it somewhere. That was when, like, they succumbed. That was when they succumbed, like that.
Wow. Yes.
That was when, like, they come down to my level and they said, and I said, I'm going to call them.
Okay.
On what happened to the result that they did before.
Exactly.
Sometimes they may lie. And
it could be mistake.
Many families may have broken because of this inconsistent of course. Because they are the owner of the clinic. You can't prove them wrong, all right?
Yes.
And if the woman or the partner, if they cheat against it, it will be very difficult, like, to get to the bottom root of the scenario, like to know what is going on.
Yes.
Though it took almost 2 years before it was sorted, but at the long run, it was sorted.
Okay, thank you for letting us know. Thank you. Well done.
Sorted.
Thank you.
But just in case if anybody falls victim, no problem, ma.
Thank you.
Ma.
Thank you. I'm on 07908 628 A lot of people have been calling on the other line. I tell you what we can do. Let us take off the WhatsApp line off for now and deal with direct call. Let's take off WhatsApp line off. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, dear. Good evening to you. Thanks, Mr. Adiola Shueton. You are my person. I always love you, for real. Good evening to you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm calling on a slightly different aspect in home office.
Okay.
Some time ago, put in an application for indefinite stay because I'm due for indefinite stay. So form. I send it through because there is fee on it about 2,390 pounds. So there's option there that you have to fill in like your account number that you want them to take the money from. Which I fill everything and I send it. After about 3 months, they return everything back to me. They send me a letter that they couldn't take the money from the account. That I was like, what's the problem? And I ring the bank up, like there's a fee, there's money I put in the account, which I was going to apply for something with the money, but almost said they couldn't take the money. The bank stopped them. Okay, so they said, when? I said, I don't know. They just send me a letter. I'm just asking, why did they stop the money? Because there's funds on it. So they said, okay, let me check. And they checked. They said, nobody tried to take the money. So we didn't see anything. I said, okay, no problem. Then I have to use another account. This time around, so there's a Visa account. There is a credit card. So the other time, I go in, I fill a credit card account. So they couldn't take the money in a current account. And I make the application, I put the credit card number and send it again. After how many months, they will turn it back again. That for this time, I have to make a second application. The one I've been doing this is gone because I couldn't take the money. So what's the matter with these people? I've used current account, couldn't take the money. I used credit card, couldn't take the money. The hardest part, you cannot get in contact with them. So then I said, okay, no problem, let me do this again. And I make another application again. Then this time around, because there is a postal order, account as well. So then I have to pay for that amount. I think I paid there's 150 pounds for the postal order. You understand? So I paid them. I sent that one through now. So I haven't heard from this again now. You know, this thing, I started doing this right from April till now. You understand? So I don't know what advice you have for me.
You see, the danger is that in between that you are sending it back to them at the last minute, there is every possibility that you will have run out of the grace period. There is every possibility, and I stand corrected, that you would have run out of the grace period. And if you have run out of the grace period, if you have leave to remain, is 28 days. So if you have run out of that grace period, the danger, I don't want to say it.
No, when they send it back, so they get it. Which I have done, I've sent it first time anyway. So I'm just waiting now.
Yeah. And it was for indefinite leave to remain. It doesn't come out quickly. Within 6, you have to wait at least 6 months before processing can complete. Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah. Just that, like, I've worked. Yes, ma'am.
I actually don't know, but I think it's from my end because when I'm in studio, it doesn't go off like this.
Yeah, it's from your end, my.
I know.
It's
not flagging. But people are saying that if it's not flagging, it would not decrease, that the numbers of viewers will not.
No, mommy. If it's flagging, it could have gone off long time ago.
Okay.
It could have gone off long time ago. It could have gone off the air.
But you know the reason why I cannot go up here. My page has been identified, so it's an ID page.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, it has been identified, so they have my ID. So when you are flagging someone that has an ID on their page, it's so difficult to brought it down. But I will agree with you that it's network issue, because when I'm in studio, they have, I think I will agree with you that it's a network, and it's a new broadband in the office. But I think it's the Woolwich, I think it's the Woolwich Market area that has problem with their thing. I think it's the area. I think it's the area.
Because people is not even clear properly. It's not like it's sharp as before. Just before it used to be sharp, today it's not. It's a bit dull and stuff. So
easy.
Regarding our discussion,
yes.
I think the reason why almost is being really, really hard, if you look at it properly, is because our people, I would say this, maybe you have to put the viewers that are watching. I'm so sorry. Woman well more than sugar. And they've got to find out. I have seen so many cases that the woman knows that it's not the man, it's a plan work. But okay, they will, I won't do it. You understand? But for the child to have, that British passport, the other man that has a British passport will pay to father that child. You get me on the moment.
I'm with you.
They will pay to father that child, and when the death certificate comes, the man will file it, and the child will have.
Okay. Oh, I think it's off. Yes. Hello.
Hello, ma, the line went off.
I think I don't know why it went off.
Yeah. So, and the woman will now file in. So from there, what you want for is the law. The owner of the final.
But we don't have evidence. That's the point.
There is evidence.
But we don't have the statistics as to what actually happened, why they came up to that conclusion. We haven't got the statistics. We don't have statistics, so I don't want us to implicate ourselves on that, and we don't have evidence. Home Office doesn't have the audacity to come out and say that, because until proven guilty in law, you will remain innocent. But I would not want to capitalize on that. I'm afraid so, especially on this platform, because I don't want anything to affect the interests of others that are innocent. To be honest with you, Benny. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, san láàrin ajé ló mú níyàn pẹ́ kọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rọra máa sọ̀rọ̀ torí ká má bàa fi ọwọ́ ara wa ṣera wa. Ayé pé méjì, ilẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń yọ̀. Ayé pé méjì, ilẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń yọ̀. Ẹ wà careful pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu sísọ torí I haven't seen evidence of that anyway as a lawyer, because you know me that I do clean records sheets and I don't have any evidence relating to that, and there is nothing in the statistics telling us that is the reason why the DNA is asked to be conducted. It was just that the Home Office is being so abrupt in their task. They're being so abrupt. That's the only thing I can see. But other than that, I haven't got evidence. And as a lawyer, and as a lawyer, please carry on. Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening to you.
Hi, my name is Claire.
Hello, I'm here with you. I'm just reading the comments. I'm only...
Okay. I'm calling regarding immigration question for you, please.
Please go ahead.
I've been married with my husband. He's from one of the countries, from the European countries. And I wanted to find out if I was able to actually apply for the British citizenship. But taking into consideration that I have some offenses, such as the dirty without the insurance. And since 2016, I'm eligible to apply for the actual British citizenship. And I've got other fraud that I've had in the past about 10 years ago. So I want to find out if I could be able to actually apply for the British citizenship.
Say that question again. I have to be honest, I'm not listening because I was reading comments.
Okay, let me recap quickly. So, since 2016, I've been eligible to apply for a British citizenship. But the issue that I had, I've got some issues in the past, such as a driving offense. I've been driving without insurance. And then I've got some issues before that, which occurred about 10 years ago. So do you think that
Let's get to the bottom of this. You are applying for citizenship here, for your citizenship too.
No. I am able since 2016 because I had the permanent residence permit. So since 2016, I'm eligible to apply for citizenship.
Okay.
And then, but my issue is, I wanted to find out first, taking into consideration that I had these offenses, driving offenses and fraud in the past, do you think that would be something to be difficult for me to actually be able to do, or is this something that they would be able to approve, or decline my application, or?
Your message is so the line is not clear from your
I'm not here.
from
Can
your
you
end.
hear me now?
It's not clear from your end at all. You know.
Can you hear me now, madam?
Okay. Yes.
Better, can you hear me now?
Yes. It should be better now.
So as I was saying, since 2016, I'm eligible to apply for British citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
But taking into consideration that I have in the past had driving offenses,
Okay. What year was the offense? What year?
I think it was in 2016.
Same year.
Yes. No, 2016, 2016.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And in the past, about 10 years ago, I had things on as a criminal record, like fraud.
You see, my advice is that you just have to declare them on your documents. The driving offense of 2016, it should have come as spent by now, and you should be okay. But you have to declare it, and you also declare the 10 years ago issue. The 10 years ago issue will have been clear by now, but please still put a note to it and mention it.
Okay.
And then you'll be okay. But if you don't mention it, they could use it against you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, madam, for your advice.
You're most welcome. Listen, guys, I am actually reading all your comments. And to be honest, you're all similar. You're all the same on this platform. You're just making me so laughing and leaving my normal, comfortable, serious face. You know. But the point we're trying to talk about is that we haven't got the statistics as to what is happening, the reason why the DNA is being asked to be conducted by the migrants' parents. Are you going to say that's the same issue about the Gekas and the Afghans family back there that have laid their to, yes, it decreases. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what happens. You know, DNA indeed, exactly. So the point remains that, yes, you know, the point is, yes, I think the network is really affecting the connectivity, and as a result of DNA testing. So if you're just joining us, I don't know whether it's a network problem, but I'm going to send it through WhatsApp. So I have taken another device straight away at the same time, and I'm recording it straight away on WhatsApp. We have spoken about the DNA testing, and if you are affected by one way or another as a result of the DNA testing request, genetic testing requested by the Home Office, after this apology from the Secretary of State for the Home Department in the United Kingdom, you will now have the privilege to make an application to the Secretary of State if you have been refused before. And the damages there is difficult to quantify. I am now making this recording onto WhatsApp because the Facebook, it seems that we're having problem with the network. But I'm making the video recording straight away that I can send to WhatsApp on this issue of DNA testing and apology from the Home Secretary. So if you have been affected one way or another, it is now time for you to make application smoothly to the Home Office on a British child that have British passport. And if you have not applied for the British passport, then you have the opportunity now to go ahead. The conclusion is that it is an unexpected request of a DNA test, and the outcome is that it's an intrusion and it's an invasion into family life, and it shouldn't have been made at all in the first instance. Although superiors from the chambers are saying that the apology, although is accepted, but it's meaningless. Nevertheless, don't forget there are 3 category people that were affected as a result of this DNA issue. The Afghans family, the Gurkhas, which is the British, the Nepali British soldiers that work in the British Army, the Afghan staff family that work in the British government, and the migrant family in the United Kingdom making application under a British child. Those are the 3 categories that were affected. Cases have been taken from the Home Office to see, but I haven't got the statistics to know exactly how many migrant families have been affected as a result of this unscrupulous decision. You know, it's very difficult to say these are the type of people or numbers of people that have been affected. But the bottom line is that if you have been affected and you want to make a new application to the Home Office now, you can contact me on 0208-309-8808. 0208-309-8808. The first and foremost is that I will have to assess your case under consultation and see the way forward before we put in an application. But there has to be a British child with a British passport. So the situation is that there has to be a British child with British passport to make application. A child born to a family without British passport is not a British child until there is British passport. When there is British passport, the good news is that the application will go in smoothly. But please, if you have been affected one way or another,